We're live! Hello, everybody. Thank you for
Yo.
joining us again for Bludgeon. We are on part three. We just have this session and one more to go. I don't know what's going to happen, but a lot happened in the last session, so I'm going to leave it to our Bludgeon Master Tejas to explain and give us a nice recap of what happened and what foolhardy we got into the last two sessions. So, Tejas, over to you.
Thank you. And yeah, it's been a bit of a while since we last played, so here's what we've been up to. You guys had gotten a contract to protect a bunch of miners. There was going to be this grand event within the mines, and within the mines there was going to be or there were rumors that there was going to be some sort of disruption. And that disruption kind of the uh, worried some of the union members of the mining corporations. So they were hired you to protect the miners and their general interests. And oh, we lost someone, and they're back.
Hmm. Yes.
Uh,
So in this like mining event, nothing wrong went, right? It was
Yeah.
done. I
oh
mean, it's
yeah,
been so long. I mean,
it's been so
obviously.
long. It almost went by without a hitch, but unfortunately, you guys kind of got some weird vibes once you actually got to the event. That's when a little bit of hex magic went off. These Rakshasas poured into the cavern that you guys were in. The lights went out, and when the lights came back, it was pandemonium. Rakshasas were running around everywhere. The main person of, or the main host of the event had been killed, and you guys pretty much went around trying to figure out first what to do. Ajay, you decided that you wanted a bed Rakshas, so you took off into one of the tunnels after one. Everybody kind of followed you in. You guys got to one of the Rakshasas who was not too pleased at being where when you made an attempt to get on its back and tame it. So you guys fought it for a bit. It then ran away. Uh, while you were fighting it, you did notice that it had been eating some of the gold that had been lying around. And after having fought it, you guys bumped into another group of people. Some of the people that had been behaving oddly, in fact. When you were just before things went crazy. Turned out, after a brief conversation with them, that they all had very interesting conspiracies, and they were out in the mines to prove all their individual conspiracies. And while talking to them, surprise, surprise, it turned out that one of them happened to be Madame Muggermuch's past student who had run away and whom she's desperately trying to capture. And he runs away. Uh, and this is where we pick up, where you've let the other conspiracy theorists go away because they realize that this is way too much conspiracy for them.
I mean,
Go ahead.
before they went away, could Ajay have tried one thing?
What do you want to try?
I'd like to. What I'd like to is sow a little bit of chaos in there because things have been a little too tame for too long. I mean, I just
Okay.
had a nice nap. I'm just gonna look at them and say, you know, I mean, that guy. You guys had been with him for 3 years. You didn't know he was a weird alien. What's to say there's not another one in your midst? I
Ooh.
just look at them and say, yeah.
Do
Do
you
you,
have
Ooh.
persuasion?
I have deceive.
I'll take deceive. I'll take deceive. Add
Yes.
persona to that.
Persona or guile because I'm blind and I
I'll
have
take guile.
nice shiny horns like
Someone's
Valkyrie.
really learning the
Uh,
rules here.
uh, I love it. I love it. Sure. We'll take guile. You can use the advantages. Go ahead, roll for that, please.
Okay, D20 is an 8,
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
but but but
But,
1d6 is a 5,
Okay.
okay.
Up to 13.
1d4 is a 4,
All right. 17.
plus 1 guile.
18. All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You say that as they're walking away, and they're already huddled together and like talking amongst each other, trying to figure out, what's going on. And they hear this, and they don't say anything. In fact, some of their conversation dies down, and you can tell that as they're walking away, they pretend not to hear you. But there's a little more tension in their shoulders as they're walking.
Yeah, I turn to the others. A job well done. So back to the chai shop for tea and biscuits or something.
I
Nice.
thought you guys were gonna chase after Madame Muggermuch's little protege.
Oh yeah, that little thing.
Like
I
that,
mean, I guess we can do that.
that creature
Point.
ran off. We should go catch him now and bring him back over here. What is this? Chumma deceiving everybody after leaving school. We didn't teach all this and all. I'm looking at everyone as I slowly walk away. In our school, we don't teach all this nonsense, okay? We just go tell them you should be responsible citizens. I don't know how this irresponsibility came in. Cheh.
I mean, students usually can deceive teachers. I mean, maybe he was doing drugs somewhere.
Drugs!
Young students do tend to move in chaotic patterns.
Yo, why? What is the purpose of all this?
I don't know.
Okay,
That
okay,
is
okay.
one of the eternal
See,
questions of life,
one
Madam
thing,
Muggermuch.
I've been chasing him for a long time now. That boy knows how to run. One thing he knows how to do is run also. I told him, you get into athletics, you go running and all that. He's like, no, madam, I'll run away from school. And he did exactly that. So I'm telling you, we'll go catch that bugger, bring him back, get him to
Torture
explain
him.
what is this, mango business and all that's happening over here.
And
But
Well,
maybe
in
a
all
little bit of
complete,
torture. A little bit of
No,
torture.
go ahead.
in complete honesty, if he is used to running away from you, Madam Muggermuch, we are likely to be hunting after a very good runner away.
So you're saying I shouldn't show my face? Hey, I'm telling you. See, Mugu, no, she looks like a nice girl. I'm saying, see, he is kind of marriageable age. She is beauty. We'll get them together. It'll become solid, nice relationship over there. She'll teach him also to be a nice boy. I'm sorry, Mugu. I don't want to make
I
presumptions.
mean, marriage wasn't in my agenda, but I don't want to marry an alien.
How are you good with punishment? We can do that instead.
I don't
I
want to punish
mean,
my husband.
See, it's okay.
I
You
mean,
won't be husband, no. He's just naughty boy on street. That's all.
this sounds more like a punishment for Mugu. I mean, I'm all for chaos, but this seems a bit too much. And Ajay just backs away. I don't know.
At this point, Mugu, you have eavesdrop, and as you had just kind of stepped away from the group as you were trying to peer into where this creature had run off into, and you do see that there's a cavern off in the distance. You hear some sort of sound. You heard some footsteps going off into the distance, but now you hear like some sort of crashing sound, almost as if either this thing bumped into something or has dropped something. But it is some sort of crashing sound that has slowly echoed up from that cavern.
Or he had a crush on Mugu and now he's really excited about this thing.
I just heard something. Maybe it'll be easier to catch that guy. Not to get him married to me, but for other reasons, like to
No,
find
no,
out.
no. Mugu, I will never force you into marriage. Don't worry about it. We just need you to trick him, You go like the Sundari beauty over there, let that little dupatta fly a little bit. He'll be like, wow. Because see, first of all, we're stuck
There is
in.
no air in the mines.
Oh, Kaka,
How am I the butterfly?
can you generate little bit of air to just like do little bit of upliftment?
Ajay raises a
can
hand and
certainly-
says, I can generate some air, but I don't think you guys will like it.
Ajay, you're very handsome. You can try.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't know what that boy is into. Maybe he's into everything. Like, hanging out
Let's
with all
keep
these
me
people.
as the last option. Maybe he has the hots for teachers as well, Who knows?
Hey, check, come on, man.
I
You're
mean, why would
making
you-
me full shy. I know I was diva and all at one time, but right now, like, looks fade, no? Looks fade. It's
Love
okay.
I mean,
knows no
why would he
age.
run away? Why would he run away if he had hots for a teacher? Just saying.
To become strong and come back and move on.
I mean,
Perhaps
I-
this could be discussed
Let's
as we walk
go,
in the
yeah,
direction
let's go
that
in that
Mugu
direction.
either
pointed
way,
us towards.
he's bleeding a lot because I did splash at him in accident by accident.
Oh, that is good idea. I don't think that boy would have cleaned himself up before running. We'll follow like some blood trail will be on the ground, no? But those dogs are also there. No, I don't know how many people they've killed till now.
Oh yeah, maybe we could have another chance at taming one. Yeah, I like your idea, Madam Muggermuch. Yes.
The
I
last
mean,
dog you had, you crashed his head to the ground.
and now I know not to do that. So
Okay. Let's
You
go to
live
the
when you
sound.
learn. You live when you learn.
All right.
The
So
unalived Tin Man said.
you guys start moving in the direction of this cavern, and sure enough, it's Madame Muggermuch who kind of picks up on it. She is proficient in tracking and catches like just the barest hints of some blood. Not it's not like most humanoid creatures where the blood is generally some darkest shade of red. This one has almost an ichor like texture to it, and it is kind of an off-white, milky sort of texture. It's you see a few droplets, but it's not like large splotches. So while he is bleeding a little bit, it's going to be a little bit difficult picking up on whatever disparate areas that he's bled and run down. For the time being, the cavern does look pretty straightforward. Doesn't look like there's any sort of diversions yet. So is that where we're heading down, or do you legitimately want to go somewhere else? Because it's all on you.
Are there any sounds coming from the towards the entrance where like a lot of people had congregated?
Um, there, I mean, there's the general sounds that you can hear echoing through, which is the usual sort of what you've been hearing this whole time, which is people talking. There's commotion. Some of the commotion has actually died down as time has passed. It seems like everyone's kind of getting their bearings a bit more and is more post Madame Muggermuch's instructions, kind of trying to instill some order and help the people who are injured. So you hear some murmurings, but not the specific words, but it does seem to be getting slowly quieter.
So that's a dead end, unless we want to do some chaos
Hmm,
there.
Well, things at the entrance seem to have quietened down for now. Perhaps we should inquire after the presence of these creatures deeper in the caverns of the mine. And
I mean,
also, right now, the only thing that we have to follow is Gu's hearing of this sound that is coming from this cavern. So perhaps we should head down.
Hey, you don't think this is like a trap or anything, Noda? You think like it's safe and all? Like where I can't. There are so many holes, so many dogs fell down, but where are they all gone?
The tears themselves have vanished, and there does not seem to be any presence of them at this moment. But
Could everybody make an abstraction roll? Straight abstraction. Yeah.
Straight abstraction. Okay.
That
Oh,
is
it's
a
fucked.
10 on much.
yeah, I'm getting great rolls today. 3 plus 1, 4.
Oh,
Natural 1 plus 1, 2.
Wow. All of us got horrible rolls.
I mean, personally, I think we should follow this guy because
Yeah.
even if it's a trap, I think the best way to handle a trap is to go head first.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
You do remember that these creatures were eating gold.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, maybe they're looking for more gold. And where would more gold be? Somewhere in the mines.
Deeper into
Deeper.
Yeah, we should go in deeper.
When he ran, he went deeper into the mine as well, right?
Yes.
Yes, let's go.
Okay. So you
I
guys
want to
start
try
moving.
smelling this thing.
Smelling. Okay, smelling for the Rakshas or smelling for the creature, the imp.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think Ajay would go for the Rakshas, but I think seeing Madam Magarmach this anxious, even though he won't say it, I think he'll try to smell.
Such a good boy.
No, he's not.
All right. I'd like you to make a finesse roll because this is going to be a bit difficult. It's not something you usually do, but any sort of
I mean, I've got a 6 and a 3, so it's only
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's only up. Yes. Yeah. Never mind. I mean,
How much did you roll?
I mean, What's a number that's not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20?
One.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but there's modifiers of a +0, so yeah, it's a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool. You act confident, and you're like, it's totally this way, and you start heading down into the nearest cavern that Madame Muggermuch had already pointed out. But
Yeah.
you just add to you kind of just walk confidently down that way. It's like, come on, guys, we gotta. It's definitely here. So this cavern is initially it's quite well crafted. There's it nicely clean cut sides. There are struts at equivalent distance. There's still those tracks for mine carts to like carry stuff out going further down this way as well. Every so often you see like a little bit of a diversion, but these diversions are more vertical, leading upwards, and they have those familiar rungs that you've been seeing. So clearly, this is where Vonner and all can climb up to get to other veins that might not have been possible. Moving further down, you start to get to the first fork in this cavern, and you see that even the minecart tracks split into two. You have a choice between left and right. At this junction, from the right, you kind of can you get this sort of musty smell, kind of like wet soil, sort of a uh, aroma coming from that side. Just like you get when it's just rained, that sort of thing. And from the other side, you think you can feel just the barest hints of a little bit of a draft coming in.
We should go right. I mean, I smell some really nice soil there. We can, grow a carrot, eat it, think about plants.
Yeah. How long does it take to grow a carrot? Like 3, 4 minutes?
For me, sure. I mean, it can grow that fast if you want it to.
Really? You can do this
No.
much magic?
No.
I get it. Joke. Sometimes I don't get that. But I trust Mugu fully, okay? Like, see, God is on her side. It is very evident that God is on her side. And whatever God says that we should do, I think that is like perfect option for us. So if Mugu says we should go right, I'm sure that will be completely safe for us.
Yeah, right is right. Let's
Right
go
is right, correct. Correct.
I mean, I'd say I'd say go to left because A, there's a draft, so something must be there, and B, it's probably opposite of what God wants me to do, and
I agree entirely. I entirely agree. Sometimes it depends on which god tells you to do what. But if a god is telling you to go right, I am immediately a little suspicious.
I mean,
So-
Pasandi didn't tell me anything, but I can ask her.
Oh, you have her like on speed dial or something?
No, I can just think about it and wait for a response. It might take a while.
Oh, can you ask her what is our purpose here? Like, I know I need to find that boy, but like, what is that? Like, all of us doing over here? It's okay if it comes later, just before. Hopefully, not before we die, but like, if it comes at some point, it's fine.
I think it's very clear we're just here because Ajay wanted a pet, and now we're just trapped.
Yeah, I mean, that's one opinion. Yes.
But right now, you guys are kind of split in opinions of going right or left.
I
So-
just start walking rightwards, and then I look at everyone like expectantly, like to follow.
I think
Kaka-
we should split the party.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Kaka just pulls like Ajay, like goes to the right. Very reluctantly, but like.
It's okay, Kaka. Like, you know how I feel about running away and all, but Papa Ajay, like, it's still his journey, his way. If it leads in death, it's okay. Like, we'll do one nice funeral for you, Ajay. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it has like Raging Inferno and
I
I
am
don't
just
know,
telling
a
you
death
now.
match of
I have a bad feeling about all of this. Bad feeling.
Did the bad feeling start when there were holes in the sky or after that?
And like precisely, it was around that, but like I don't know. I have been seeking that sort of moment my entire life, Mugu. I cannot tell you when
Didn't your
my
life start like
disquiet.
very recently? I mean, you woke
Oh
up,
no,
I mean, yeah,
no, no,
but I
there
no,
mean,
were
he
no.
could.
90 minutes left.
I mean, he could still be searching for that after
I,
that
I,
time.
I, w- I had started the process many years ago. I was only stopped at 99 minutes away from attaining my vision by our friend. And like you see at that point the mandala kind of glitches a little bit, like it like like
I
You
love
sound a
it.
little upset about that.
Oh, I thought that happened whenever he was happy because that's always when he mentions my name that thing happens. But
I
well,
am learning to understand, and I am. Shall we continue?
To
Yeah.
soil.
You guys start heading down this pathway, and sure enough, you start to notice that a little bit of the soil has a bit of moisture in it. Um, and further down, Madam Mogovich, you would notice this. You, with the little bit of torchlight that's at sporadic intervals, you catch footprints, the Rakshas's footprints. There's been some movement down this way. On top of that, you do notice that a little bit of blood and some tracks from your pupil as well. It seems like everybody's kind of moved down this way. Um, that is confirmed a bit more when first you start hearing just a little bit of a sound of water, but also you see that at certain points along this mine, you see these large teeth marks on the side of the mine shaft, where it seems as if these Rakshasas have just kind of gouged out chunks of earth.
Hey, Ajay,
hmm.
they've come here itself. Both my student and the Rakshasas.
So I guess sometimes you should follow God. Sometimes maybe. Kaka, could you like leave me so I could run after these things, or are you still gonna keep me held down? I say, looking up at Kaka.
Indeed, let us go in that direction.
Oh, as soon as he leaves me, I'm gonna run away towards the uh, with the track in my senses.
Okay. Uh,
I run behind him.
okay.
I mean, I specifically stated that and asked that question. So this one is on you guys, I think.
I'll clarify.
We
You're
have
running
to.
backwards or you're running further down?
Further, wherever these tracks lead,
Okay, cool.
do these lead in or do they lead out?
In.
Yeah, I'm running it.
Okay. You start like running down this way, and after like it goes further down, there's a descent, and after maybe about 50 to 100 meters, the descent kind of turns, and as you're making that turn, you start hearing rushing water a bit more, and it, as soon as the turn ends, it opens up into a larger area, and you stop because you almost see like almost a fall, and underneath is this sort of underground running river. You see some like two large roots from like the tree above, just reaching down and twisting down into the water. And across from like where there's this shelf that you're on, there's a little wooden bridge that goes to the other side. And on the side of this shelf, on both sides, in fact, of the bridge, there are these little boxes with some writing on it that you can't quite make out.
Yeah, I'm gonna break those boxes.
Okay.
Far easier than
Let us not break them first.
I'll
Remember,
say that
we
Ajay gets to one of them and like axes a corner just to see what's inside. That's roughly when you guys catch up to him, because you have to remember, Ajay's got hooves that helps him run much faster
Oh.
than you guys.
Mhm.
Um, you pull the axe out, like twisting it a bit so that there's the wood is splintered, and you see some sort of powder kind of come out.
do not let that fall into the water at all, please.
Don't sniff
Cease
that
and
powder.
desist.
Do not
Cease
sniff
and
that powder,
desist.
Ajay. Don't do it.
Oh my god, I love this.
Again, I sit down petulantly.
Okay.
Oh my god, like Madam Magamach is just looking at both Mugu and Kaka with this like newfound respect. Like, yo, they've been able to do something I've never been able to do.
No, do you not remember one of the things that these people, the conspiracy theorist enthusiasts, had accused the mining people of was poisoning their supply to kind of do some mind control business? If you remember that, there was some nonsense, including
But
mind
these
control of the
tests
population.
Can I
powders smell
inspect
like
the powder? I said
bullets.
don't
Yeah.
sniff the powder. I literally specifically said that.
Does it smell like gunpowder?
No. No.
Oh my god.
Suddenly he's high and like acts much more weird than normal.
I just
No,
wanted to do a big explosion, but okay.
No, there's no real odor coming from it. It seems like the powder it's kind of a little grainy. It's got like it's almost like coarse sand. And it's got a coloration that's like an off yellow, like a very pale yellow almost. Um, so yeah, Mugu, you said you wanted to inspect it.
Inspect it, yeah. Like just take a look at it, see if it's familiar with anything I've ever seen before.
Okay. You have forage and green thumb, right? Okay. Why don't you use memory? Add that bonus to it.
Ajay
Okay, so
will
that's
say,
2d6.
Ajay will
Yes.
say, I think we could get much faster results if I just,
Sniff it, Ajay.
take
Sniff it. Do
I got a
it.
nat 20 and a 6, and
Oh wow.
then 1 and 1, so that's 28.
Okay, you know what? You know exactly what this is. You inspect it, and first of all, you look at the side of the boxes, right? And you're like, oh, okay, because on the side of the boxes, once you're close enough, you can see that it's labeled. Taking some of the powder, just like pressing it between your hands, you know that this is some sort of compound that's used to decontaminate water, right? It's generally used to like kill bacteria, stuff like that. It's and you've heard people talk about it a lot recently because it's a recent Unity invention, and they've been introducing it everywhere to help, prevent waterborne sicknesses.
So I
Oh.
point to the powder and I say, look at Ajay, and I say, okay, you can go at it if you want to. And then I turn to the other two and I say, so this is just a Unity thing, I guess. They want to make sure nobody falls sick because of bad water. So the
Oh.
conspiracy theories were half correct.
Okay.
But are
Okay.
they just adding this to the water? Is that the thing?
I mean, I won't sniff it or put it in my mouth. I'll take
No,
a
you can
torch.
do it now.
I'll take a torch and I'll see if it's flammable. I still want to see if it
I
bursts.
can I knock his hand away, please?
I want you.
Like this adventure, we just tie him up and then sometimes like gag him and then sometimes we'll be like, is this correct? Okay.
I just suddenly pictured, Madam Magarmach and Mugu walking, and then behind them Kaka with a hog tail, like Ajay, like unleash, unleash the Kraken, unleash the Ajay.
Oh my god, I love that. It's like that Ace Ventura, like the second movie when they bring the tiny kid out of the hut. And he's like, ah!
Oh my god, yeah. I like you to just roll a d100. Let's
Oh
make
my
this a luck-based thing.
god.
And
You're
I want-
rolling.
Yeah.
You want to roll high numbers because lower numbers will go flammable.
What do so I want a 1.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! This is your third one!
I got a 14.
A 14.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that?
100,
Okay.
I think.
100.
100. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 14. He got 100. So
All right. So we'll say that Ajay, you put it down, and as soon as it touches this powder, the torch and the powder begins to burn with this weird green flame, right? And I'm gonna put it out there. If anybody watching this is really good at chemistry and knows that I'm wrong about shit, I'm sorry. I'm not. I suck at chemistry, so I'm just making crap up. But it burns with a green flame, and it starts to fizzle, and it's about to spread when immediately Kaka just jumps in, pushes you aside, and like belly flops onto the powder and like just kind of rolls around on it, putting it out as quickly as possible before it begins to spread. And yeah, it seems like he's avoided a bit of a disaster there.
That
so we
is
know it's flammable.
nuts. Oh my god. So
Like,
we can make bombs out of it.
After like the rolling gets over, like, what is the status of my robe?
It is covered in. There's a little burn marks, and it's covered in this powder, which you can
So-
kind of like pat off of you mostly, but it's still kind of ruined.
So in the roll of doing that, like the mandala had kind of like winked out. So right now, as like Kaka is getting up like back to the rest of the people, especially to Ajay, like there's no mandala, but then he slow thirds as the mandala just goes like, you are getting me new clothes. My choice.
Yeah. I mean, you already have all my gold, so feel free.
The glow dims down a little bit. I suppose I do.
Yeah.
Fine.
But
Don't do these things.
yes, but now we know that these are flammable, and as Madam Mothermutt said, we can make bombs.
So what do you call this type of student? Like, madam, what about the students who just set things on fire? What do
We call them
them?
expelled. That is usually what we call them.
Is it time to tie him up now?
See, I still do see, like, even I need to like.
I'm just going. Can I, using my field repairs and my tinkerer, which I am proficient and skilled at, can I just fix up the box, or is all of the powder, whatever, spilt out, etc., from the one broken box?
Not all of it. It basically some of it had spilled out, but it's still a wooden box, right?
Yeah.
You would
Can I
need.
patch it up?
You can. We'll say yeah. You can give it like a basic patch up where more of it won't spill out, but it won't be like structurally sound. If someone picks it up, those parts will come out. But yeah, it'll do for the time being.
I'll go up to
Okay.
Madam Mothermutt and say, so should we like break open another box and like make little pouches of these things?
I'm a little worried about how silent it is over here. Like, see, silence, is what you want in every place you go to. But when there's a little too much silence, it gets slightly suspicious.
Well,
And
you are close to the river. You are hearing the rushing of water as this underground river is kind of
I
moving
will
by.
say one thing. If we are suspicious of a trap, the one thing that traps don't take into account, us having cool bombs. Just gonna put it out there.
No way. You have an explosive personality, Ajay. You do with it what you need to. Just don't kill all of us. That is all. That is all we're asking. Bare minimum is don't hurt us. Hurt
Okay.
them, don't hurt us.
Yeah. I say as I'm walking up to another box, break it open and making small pouches.
Slowly start walking away like nowhere.
Can we go like is the other side of the bridge if we're on
Yeah, you're on one side, which is this shelf, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other, there's a bit of a shelf, and you see another opening that goes further into the mines.
And do the marks that we saw of the dogs and the student, Madam Magarmat student, continue there, or
You well, Madame Muggermuch would notice this. She sees two interesting facets. One is that the tracks of the Rakshas that ran through here go up to where the bridge is, to the side of it, and then you see sort of these scrabble marks on the side of the bridge. It seems as if they had tried to leap across rather than use the
Oh,
bridge. The bridge itself is fairly narrow, not really built for maybe their bulk. You also see a little bit more of the blood from your student on a few of the planks, the wooden planks of this bridge.
got it.
On our side.
Up just down the center.
So it looks like this fellow went on this path itself. We might not be able to go all at once. We might not be able to take all our weight at the same time. But I think if we just go, Mugu, actually, your little bird, no? Does it do any little bit of scouting and all? Like, can it like let you know if there's like danger ahead, or just go like cheap, 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 cheap? If it
It
sees
can go
something.
cheap, but not like for reasons other than it just wants to make a sound and it looks very pretty. So, those are its talents.
Yeah, can you make it like maybe ask it if it can like fly to the other side? We'll also go there, but fly a little bit ahead. And if it goes like cheap, 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 like an alarm, then we know like, oh, there's something over there. If it just flies back happy, then it's okay. We'll just walk in complete.
I feel like this is too complicated for it, but you know what? We can try. And like I hold it out and I say, fly. Whatever it wants to, if it even flies.
Fly, little birdie, bye bye. And
Do your thing.
This conversation is happening while in a corner. Ajay
No,
is
I'll help you
huddled,
sort of make
huddled
potlis
over.
of the powder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we can like ball it up into something and then throw and then set fire to it.
I imagine this is just as like Kaka just finishes up patching like the one box, he suddenly hears a like. What is the point? I honestly do not know.
All right. So you tell your bird to fly, and it kind of gets the sense of what you're saying, and
Performance anxiety.
yeah, and kind of you see it kind of flit back forth, kind of across to the other side, where then one of the stakes that's kind of in the ground and holding the weight of ropes of the bridge, it kind of perches on top of that and looks back at you somewhat expectantly. Meanwhile, you
I
start.
give it a thumbs up.
You and Ajay start making these little portlies of this powder, in the hopes of making makeshift bombs. We'll say that you can roll a d4, and that's how many you can make successfully.
Both of us or one of us?
I'll say both of you.
Oh,
2 and 4. Okay,
yes.
so that's how many you each have.
I give mine to Ajay because I'm sure he'll make good use of it.
All right, Ajay, you have 6. You can write indeterminate potential bomb.
That's what I call myself.
I want to go over to the
I
other
was like,
side.
there's an immense amount of resonance between Bomb and Ajay.
I just want to go over to the other side and get a little bit away from the sound of the river and try to listen for the sound of voices instead.
Are you crossing the bridge?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
Given that I'm a tinkerer, I would know general construction, etc. Right? Can I just like walk up to the bridge and kind of just take a quick look to see if it's like fully structurally sound? Because especially since that the person jumped over rather than to try and go.
The Rakshas jumped over and my
Fair
student
enough.
walked across.
Okay, I'm just taking a quick look to see if there's any potential.
So
You know.
we'll say that Madame Muggermuch has already begun crossing, and Madame Muggermuch, for you, it's a bit shaky, right? It is like you have to keep your balance and kind of walk as straight as possible, and you make it to the other side. Kaka, you're watching her go across, and you're also looking at the way it's constructed, and as far as you can tell, it's fairly sound. it does the job that it's meant to, which is help miners get across. But given that it's kind of wood and rope as a construction, that does mean it's not going to be stable. So you do have to maintain your balance as you move across.
Okay. I just we have to be careful as we go across. Madam Agarmach went well with the grace from her diva days, so she went fine. But we have to be a little more careful.
I love it.
Vajram is still on that side, right? My bird.
Yes.
So after Madam Agarmach is off the bridge, I'll start following in that path.
Okay. All right. So you move across. Again, it's a little unsteady, but you manage to get there. As soon as you cross, Vajram comes back to your shoulder and kind of nuzzles up against you. Madam Muggermuch, you kind of just move a little bit further into the cavern just to see if you hear voices. You hear just the barest hints of some sort of crunching sound.
Okay, I'll go across next.
Okay.
I'll look over to the others and do that very typical like.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go after Kaka. Should I roll to see if I
Stomp
subdue my urge?
on the bridge and walk across.
Yeah, just like get in the middle and try to swing myself a little.
The self-destruct button. Should I press it or not?
Yeah. Should I have to roll for that or?
For your own choice.
Let me describe a little bit more before we go to more chaotic stuff. Kaka, while you're walking across the bridge, like you've made it maybe a third of the way across, you start hearing the creaking of the ropes as they strain with your metallic weight. You continue onwards, and the creaking intensifies. You can tell that this thing may not be built for Yantraluk. As being fully made of metal, this might, yeah.
Can I, using my understanding of physics and sway and etc., kind of like devise a way where I can kind of use the sway to kind of aid my parkour dash across the.
Make a combo wit and finesse roll for this.
Okay.
Can I
So
hit them in any way by, I don't know, just hammering the butt end of my axe at the stomp of these things?
13 plus
Give
2,
them a little
15
bit
plus 1,
rigidity.
16.
16. Okay. Knowing 16, Ajay, I don't know if you would be able to help him in any way. If you want, you could at most maybe hold down the stakes on your
That's
side.
what I was. That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. We'll say you're holding that down. With 16, yeah, you start to kind of move with the rhythm and try and kind of use that momentum to kind of move across with the swaying of the bridge.
To negate kind of like, downward force, like, to
Yeah.
not negate it, but cut it down as much.
Yeah, you do. You manage to use that momentum and get another third of the way across. And with Ajay holding down the other side, it seems like it's holding. The strain, Ajay, from where you are, you can start to feel the strain as you're holding the stakes in place. They're starting to edge forward and kind of a little bit come out of the ground a little bit. There's seems to be some sort of give, and that's starting to worry you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll. Yeah. Can I try this? Should I try this?
Okay. Can I also try another? I've gotten a third of the way there, right? So I have 1/3 to cover.
Yeah.
Can I just kind of sensing that this is getting a little dangerous? I'm going to pull one page from my spell book and cast the spell. And as I flip as I finish that last bit, you pull out the page, I flip, and in the middle of the turn, like push myself in the
Oh.
direction of I kind of try and like make a point of impact right by at a plane at my fist,
Yeah,
and
I
I
get that.
push myself off that to get to the other side.
Do you want this to be a line, a cone? Which shape are you using?
I'm going to use a line, a concentrated line of force. So potentially that might give a little more distance.
Sure. I'd like you to make a roll. Just a straight attack roll. You can add your DSM.
I was gonna try to put my axe into the ground
Uh-huh.
and then use my legs on it so that I have like a stable thing
To
push
hold it back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
With
Could
my
you
arms.
make a strength roll, please?
Just strength or
Yeah,
athletics
strength.
and
As no strength, just to add because you're
sure.
digging into the dirt and then holding onto it.
So,
Mine's an 18 plus 2, 20.
Okay. I'll just hear what Ajay has and then give you
just
guys.
give me 1 minute.
What is Mugu doing? You're still on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Fine. 15 plus 3, so
Okay.
numbers.
Fantastic. So you start to kind of create like almost a gap with your a barrier with your axe, and then you're holding it so that you can hold onto both stakes that are in the ground better. And for the most part, you're doing quite well. They haven't given any more. They're kind of at the same spot. Meanwhile, Kaka, you realize that this bridge is starting to sound and feel like it's about to give. So you take one last leap, turn around, pull your book out, take a spell out of it, and cast it with this push. It is very successful. You cast this concentrated burst of kinetic force and because you're in midair, you feel that pushback as it does, and that propels you backwards a bit, and you end up doing two things. One, you fly backwards and you end up hitting just the edge of the cliff where the bridge begins, almost in a seated position, right at the edge with your feet dangling down off of it. But at the same time, you hit the bridge with force, and the bridge from the other side collapses, and the two stakes that are on the other side fall through. And that leaves Ajay on the other side with his side of the bridge and everything just kind of hanging down.
Oh my. While that was very scenic, I think maybe I should have gone last, eh?
Uh,
Well.
But can he? What is the distance? Can he swim or get to us?
Well, there's a bit of a drop, and then there's the river, right? So he won't be able to. If he swims, then he's somewhere Nietzsche. You can try jumping.
Yeah, how is this thing?
It's about 10-ish meters wide.
That's easy. I'm jumping.
Okay. So you're gonna back up and then take a running start.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like you to make first a stamina roll, right, and then a strength roll with athletics.
Stamina is 12 plus 1, 13. So
Okay. Now strength roll with athletics.
that's better. Plus athletics, so d6. Okay, so you guys will have to calculate it for me. 14 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3.
14 plus 5 is
19
19
plus
plus
11.
3, 22
plus
plus
3, 25.
yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, 25. You're like, okay. Before anyone else can say anything, Kaka's still on the other side, like wondering how to solve this problem. You're just like, okay. You holster your axe, you run back, you start running forward, and right at the edge of the cliff, you leap with all the force, the momentum, everything you have. You go forward, you're arcing through the air, and you're just like, I'm almost got it, and then you reach out, and Kaka has to hold your hand and pulls you up the last bit just before you fall.
What if he doesn't like top 10 anime betrayals?
Oh my god, amazing.
I'm looking
But
at
you
Guys,
make it.
be little quiet. There is like something munching inside.
He still hasn't said he reaches out.
Oh, Kaka. Yeah.
Yeah. I like. No, but he said that, like, he reached out and caught, which is why I said, like, I didn't say it.
Kaka's is like
I was thinking of like a more like kind of like cinematic way in which that could have happened.
you throw him
Like-
inside. Throw him inside. Catch him and throw him inside like a catapult.
I mean, yeah, I already have like one hand to my axe.
Oh, okay. Muku, slowly come. Oh wait, is the
I was
bridge
thinking
broken?
Yeah.
The vision that I had was
I'm
like
on the other side already.
Oh, okay.
it was that Ajay was like looping in and Kaka just like, oh my, and like just caught the edge and like his arms just kind of extended and like his entire body started going like this, like holding that, and like it caught like so. Ajay caught one of the legs, pushed over, and then
Wow,
like, Kaka comes.
that is nuts.
Do I have to roll anything to see if this spinning thing?
It's
is
okay now. You're fine now.
You're fine.
There's a bigger problem in the cave inside. Okay,
It's like you have a
okay.
death wish.
I was doing flavor. Don't make him roll.
I think if this is like
It's okay. You're very dexterous, Ajay. Now.
I am
now.
not. I have one index.
It's
I have
okay.
0 index.
For this moment, you're good. Okay.
I had a question, like when he burnt the that powder and that
Yeah.
green flame rose up, was there any smell that came along with it? I don't know if you said.
That's interesting. Like an earthy smell or a chemical smell.
Yeah, something.
It would
like that.
have been more of a chemical smell.
Oh.
And that
mixture.
then, like, was it like hard to breathe in, or what was the sort of effect of that? Like, it was just fine.
It was acrid. It gave you just this hint of nausea, right?
Okay.
Hmm. Okay. So
Now
Ajay,
with all of you on the other side, yeah. You do that munching seems to be like stopping, Madam Mugamuch. So whatever this was eating something seems to have stopped.
Ooh. Okay, guys. I think there's like one Rakshas inside. Anybody has a net or something? Catch it.
You don't have a net.
Ajay's, I am the net.
Ajay, what do you think? So it's like you hear us like she just stops and listens to. Okay, I can't hear that munching anymore. It's either coming towards us or going away. If it's coming towards us, do we want to ambush it or do we all like run inside and attack it at once?
Maybe it finished eating, now it's taking a break. Like it's sleeping and we can just walk past it and not fight once again.
Hey, what is your little bird saying? Can you hear it?
What is my bird saying? I look at Madam Agarwal, I'm like, I really don't have such a deep connection with Vajram. She's just very pretty.
Vajram's on your shoulder, just kind of like looking around, kind of. Yeah.
She's very dumb.
Oh my god, that's so cute. I'm gonna pat that little bird head because I want to in real life. Okay, like it's so cute.
She
Like
only knows to
suddenly,
run away when there's trouble. I mean, fly away.
suddenly, in that one instant, like Vajram became a pigeon.
Then you would have been dead, but yes.
Okay, so
Vajram is specifically not a pigeon, okay?
He's a hummingbird.
oh, that's so cute.
So,
So
but like
are we-
when you said dumb, I just imagined the Mine, like mine, like the seagulls, but
I mean, I will say my adrenaline is very high right now. So
When is it not, though?
Ajay, you want to go in and check and see if it's all right? And I'm looking at the others in the way, like we'll let him go. It's okay.
sure.
Go and play, my child. Go and play.
Yes, I take out my axe and give a playful little swings.
That's
I'm
not how
walking.
you make pets with an axe.
I mean, let's see.
All right. So
It's a
Ajay,
new day for learning every day.
you take off first, right? You're leading the pack with everyone kind of following. Moving into the further into this cavern now. First of all, it's starting to become a bit more rough-hewn, right? It's not as well constructed as it was prior. So these, you get the sense that these are fairly recent additions to this sort of mine. Not just that, but with the soil being a little bit more moist here and not as well padded down as other areas, the footprints of the Rakshas are a lot more prevalent and easier to follow. The torches are lit, thankfully. They haven't been blown out yet. So that gives you some sort of guiding light of where to go. You think you catch a like the barest hint of one of the Rakshas in the distance. But because these tunnels are kind of windy, just as soon as you think you caught a glimpse of it, it seems to move behind another turn. So you pick up your pace. The others, you guys hear that he's picked up his pace, or see, sorry, and so do you. Um, you rush forward, and while rushing forward, Ajay, you notice like this very poorly crafted wooden obstruction to one side, and you can choose to ignore it and just keep going. But it just catches your eye as you're like rushing down, trying to catch up to the Rakshas.
What does it say? Does it say anything?
Nothing. It's literally there's like soil, and almost as if it almost looks like it's a set of loose planks that have been just kept to the side of the soil. But while you were crossing it through the little gaps, it seemed like there was some depth behind it. It wasn't just randomly placed there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you continue downwards. The rest of you guys follows.
I take a look at the
rest of them,
thing, the soil and the planks.
Yeah. So Ajay, you're continue heading down, trying to catch this Rakshas. We'll go. You're stopping. Who else is stopping to check this thing out?
I'm going to follow Ajay. God, who knows what the child will do next?
I'm gonna
Pick
be
up the remains of my nice robe.
I'm going to be tracking the blood, any of the blood splatter. Also, just making sure there aren't any traps or things hiding in wait for us.
Okay. So for traps and all, I'd like you to just roll tracking. You don't have anything trap related, so this should be good enough.
Done.
You can add your wit to this.
Oh, my wit. Okay. It's my... Oh, okay. So that is 11 plus 5, 16 plus 1, 17.
17. So you see that Mugu has stopped and is looking at these planks and is reaching out to touch one of them. You take a quick look and you're right beside her and you stop to see what she's doing. And looking at all these planks, something catches your eye and you stop her immediately. And you notice that there is this thin thread right at the bottom where the planks are. So as soon as one plank would be moved, the thread would be pulled. And you can't see where the thread leads into, but it seems to be somewhere on, like into the soil on the sides.
Oh, wait. There's like, it looks like a trap almost. Can you see this thread? It's going into the ground. I don't think we should move this right now. I don't know where this is connected to or what it's going to set off.
It looks like there's something behind it, though.
Oh, yeah. But let's just. Do you know how to disarm traps and all?
I just make plans.
Gardening. I'm sorry, Mugu. I'm sorry we took an underground thing.
All of this is very out of my depth. There's very little soil, and when there is soil, I get excited.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll find a way out. First, we just need to get Ajay, his pet. We'll find that student of mine, and Kaka. Somewhere we'll find that movement. It's okay. Sometime we'll find that movement.
I just look wistfully at the soil and then start following Ajay.
Okay. I will give you the option of like trying to look through the plagues just to see if you get a view of what's inside.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be
You can
quite
still
careful.
try to mess around with them and try and disarm the trap. You know, if you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to just move on, you can at least look through to see what you.
I'll call
what's
Kaka. I'll be like, Kaka. Come here,
Kaka's
dude.
gone. Like in the
Ayyo.
time that you guys have had this conversation, Ajay and Kaka have moved further in. You don't see them anymore. Ajay, you finally catch sight of the Rakshas. You move fairly quickly. You see this Rakshas. There is a minecart up ahead, and it's not just one. There's two, and one of them is eating this ore from this minecart that's just kind of stationed there, and another you see like this gold vein on the side of the cave, and you just see it taking massive chunks or bites out of the side of the wall, and just consuming the ore, the soil, everything in that area, and just creating this little tunnel almost.
Yeah, I'm gonna slow down a little. Yeah, crouch and stealthily approach one of them so that I can jump on its back and, I don't know, rear it or something.
Okay. I'd like you to roll finesse for stealth just to see how well you can like quickly creep up on them. I will make a quick roll to see.
Not that good. Finesse is 0, so yeah, 12. Okay, not that good. Decent.
Okay. What was the total again?
12. 12 plus
12.
0 is 0, plus 12. So
Okay.
I
You
know
hunker
that
down.
much.
Yeah. You
That's
hunker
easy
down.
math.
You hunker down and you start moving close to the tunnel wall, trying to keep as quiet as possible and stay out of their vision line. For the most part, it actually seems like they don't notice you at all. They're completely laser focused on this gold ore and just devouring it. You're like maybe a good 10-ish meters away from them when Kaka comes kind of around the corner and you see this happening, Kaka, that Ajay is slowly getting close to this and about to or is creeping up to these two Rakshas.
Are the two Rakshasas only intent on eating gold ore, or are they digging a tunnel or something of that sort? I heard something of that along those
It
lines.
seems like they're eating gold ore, but because they have such large mouths and they're taking these large chunks out of the soil as they're eating the ore, it's almost creating like a small tunnel that you could crouch and move through.
Is there?
And they seem to be concentrating in that one direction?
Kind of.
I will slowly start jogging. I'll slowly start slowing down so that I'm also like calmly walking. By like when I get to about say 60 feet, kind of direction, and I'm just kind of trying to like.
All right.
Can I just try and like find a pebble and just like you know?
Yeah, you take like a few pebbles and you're just like Ajay, trying to get his attention, and most of them hit. But like water off a duck's back, Ajay just continues onwards. At least that's what I'm assuming, Ajay, right? Yeah. Meanwhile,
the green glow like glitches and turns red for a second before going to green again. But like
Meanwhile, Muku and Madam, what would you guys like to do with these planks?
We are being like, I guess, like traditional oldie women with technology, where we're like, are you, what is this trap and all? Do you think we should see it? Do you think it will set off? And like very like slowly picking up a plank to see if there's anything underneath. We're like so tense, like the tension is in the air. Okay, like we're both not very strong.
Will both of you roll finesse?
Oh god, I'm glad that's a stat I'm good at. Okay, it's not too bad. Unnatural 20.
Nice.
I got a 1 plus 1 too.
Amazing.
I was like looking at it like, is this really one right?
This is not soil.
No.
The soil betrayed me.
Yo.
Madam Bhagavat, you are like, okay. The thread seems to go around the outer edges of these planks. So you're like thinking like, okay, so clearly they don't expect anyone to see it. So if I just push the bottom of the plank back and then lift it slowly out, it should be okay. And you start doing that, you're working on that. Meanwhile, Mugu's plan is if I just move it sideways, I can create enough of a gap to look through. Two things are happening simultaneously. You're picking it up, you're holding this heavy plank of wood, and you're about to like lift it off of the thing. Mugu has moved it to the side, but has also kind of pushed it enough where both of you suddenly hear this sudden click. You have to decide what you're gonna do in like I'm giving you like a few seconds. So first, Mugu, what are you gonna do? You hear a click.
Firstly, I did actually think the solution to the trap was to move it to the side.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I moved to the side. I'm just going to like jump back. As soon as I hear the click, I just get startled and jump back.
Okay. Madam Bhagavat, what are you doing?
I look at Mugu and say, Mugu, and I run. Sprint. No person's gonna stand after they know they're set up a bomb. I'm just sprinting off.
Alright. So
Swami.
Swami, Rakshakane, nice. Okay, just like running.
There's this click, and Mugu, you jump back. You hear Madam Gagama just begin to scamper off, and there is this sudden set of spikes that just drop from above you.
Oh!
All right, you are going to take 3 points of damage. Right, as a bunch of these spikes. Luckily, they're not like tied together. It's just these loose wooden staves that have just kind of dropped, and even though they're sharp and have like bits of blades kind of attached to them, they kind of eviscerate you on the way down.
Oh no!
But that's the trap. Madam Mugu, you get like a good like 20 meters away. You hear a cry of pain from Mugu, and then you stop and turn back, and you just see Mugu standing there, like shocked, and then all these like wooden staves on the ground just embedded, like maybe a good like 10 centimeters of their points already into the dirt.
I'm gonna do the typical Indian mother thing of going and helping her but scolding her in the process. Like, why, Mugu? You should run. You're not in jail. And just like, it's not hurting. No, pull. Okay, like
this morning I was just making like my garden, and I was thinking about how pretty the flowers were, and like as she's pulling, I'm like, oh! And then I added fertilizer.
Happy thoughts, pull. Okay, just.
But like as soon as all of them are out, I like use my golden fingertips and like place a hand on my forehead, sort of rub it, and give myself HP again.
Oh,
Nice.
oh,
Midas's touch, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad God is on your side. Come, Mugu, we'll go find the other ones. Next time
I'm
we'll
so
make
glad
Ajay
to
do
hear it.
these things, okay? Don't worry. Okay? Just like leader.
I'm so I'm so
No,
glad God is
but we
on
can
your
at
side.
least look inside now.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's a little panicky of seeing all this blood and all, but I'm good now.
While this is happening, Ajay and
Oh
Kaka,
my god.
you've crept quite close to these creatures. And Ajay, at this point, you notice that the one that had been eating into the mine cart has emptied the mine cart. You notice that even parts of the edge of the mine cart have been chewed along with everything else. And it has just fallen over. What would you like to do at this point?
I mean, if I'm being honest,
Do it.
yeah, yeah. My plan was originally it was to kill one of them and keep one of them as our pet. But now that we have seen two, I kind of want to gift one to the others. One would be mine exclusively. One would be the
Mm,
others. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run towards it and I'm gonna try to lift up the mine cart and shove it into its face. Well, yeah, so that at least
okay.
it's dazed.
All right.
Like when you like flick someone's nose or something,
Right.
but harder.
Oh, yeah. Um, I'm not even gonna make you roll for this. You rush forward, and it's at this point that the Rakshas has kind of lifted its head and is smelling deeply, as you've seen it do before, as it's trying to get its bearings or maybe find something. You grab the minecart, and while it's sniffing, smash it into its head, and you see it kind of like rear back a little bit in pain. As it rears back, its head hits the top of the mine. There's a bit of a tremor all around you as some soil falls down, and then it comes smashing down and shakes its head. Its size is immense, and you're quite close to it. Um, I'd like. What is your reflex? Because I'm going to roll against that.
My reflex is it's healthy. It's 9.
Okay. I rolled a 4. So as it's shaking about, you manage to duck out of the way so that it doesn't knock you around. Uh, but now it seems like it knows what it wants to do, and it starts to take off at like at speed further down the cavern. The other one is still eating into the side of the cave. Kaka, what would you like to do when all of this has happened?
So now basically I see this bugger run off on the back of one of these things further down the cavern.
No, not Ajay. You see one of the Rakshasas run
Run
down
off.
the cavern. Ajay is still there. He's just jumped out of the way as this thing kind of slams down and barrels past him and manages to avoid getting squished.
Would I have been able to like just hook my axe towards its leg so
Ooh,
that it
interesting.
trips? So that it trips because
Oh,
it's
why
trying
did
to
I
run
give him
towards me.
ideas? Why did I give
Oh,
him ideas?
nice.
Interesting. That's quite cool. Would you roll a finesse on this because you're trying to do it really quickly as it's moving past.
Yeah, I mean, my rolls have all been like 6, 3s, 12. So I I'm gonna roll with the uh, forethought of getting a 1 because I think I'm due a 1. No, 19.
19. Any additions?
What did you say? Uh,
Finesse.
finesse is 0.
Okay. So 19 is pretty good. You swing at its leg and yeah, you hit it and it yelps in pain again and stumbles and kind of ends up falling and crashing into the ground of the cavern. It doesn't manage to actually run away. But at this point, the other Rakshas that had been like quite focused on the ore raises its head and kind of looks to the side. Now, Kaka, you've seen this happen. What would you like to do?
So he's essentially being dragged along by the axe?
No. He's not dragged along.
Not at all. Okay.
No.
Then the other one has ran away. Let us at least take care of the one that is present. And I I don't know.
Both of them are here. One has fallen down, one has tripped, one is something. Doing something. One was
I'm
fine, by the
going
way.
to I'm going to just like, so how many tiles away from this thing am I?
How many what tiles?
How many tiles away am I from the one that is downed?
I'd say like when I first told Ajay he was nearby, he was about 10-ish meters away. So we can say, yeah, you're probably about 10 to 12 tiles away.
Perfect. I am actually going to use 2 turns to run 12 tiles because I
Nice.
can move 6 feet, 6 tiles on each thing. And
Yes.
in the last, I'm going to jump up and push with a spell down.
Oh, what does down do?
I mean, so essentially, I'm going to do a pushing situation, but like,
Oh.
since I'm going to try and, like, squish the thing into the thing, so I'm going to use a contact spell, and it is going to have or the transferred momentum is the spell, like, this thing.
Yes.
And then I am going to add push to as 1 page,
Hmm.
and then I am going to increase the damage uh, to 2d6. So I'll use 4 pages.
Hmm.
So 4 plus 1 for the additional thing. So this is a 6-page spell.
Okay.
Mm.
Essentially. This is a 6-page spell, and I just push the creature into the thing,
Ground.
and hopefully, like, that much momentum will add to,
Yeah.
like, the impact.
Okay. So
Down boy.
Yeah.
Hoping
so
you
I'm gonna
don't
make a quick
squish its
clarification.
head like a melon.
Okay.
Yeah. So in combat, you running is basically your attack and your movement action. So that would have finished your turn, right? This is a cool moment. We're not in combat, so I'm allowing this whole thing to play out.
Okay. Cool.
Make your attack roll.
So that is a 18 plus 2, 20.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Okay, so that hits. Roll for damage first. We'll apply that, and then we'll go through the list of effects that you've added on.
Okay, so that is now, instead of 1d8, it's 2d6
Yeah.
and 6. Right. Okay. So that is a 2 plus 2, 4.
Okay. Plus DSM.
6.
Okay. 6 damage. And what are you adding as the effects again? Push, right?
Push and transferred momentum. So now it is
Nice.
7 tiles of movement that cannot be moved. So instead, it goes
Further
splat
in.
kind of situation.
Okay. What is your reflex?
My reflex is 8.
I rolled a 7. Okay. Um, so that applies. So because it can't be moved and is going to be pushed in, I'll say for uh, you're going to push it 7 tiles. You said.
7 tiles without moving.
Okay. We'll do plus 7 damage for each tile that it can't move. Okay.
Okay,
So you
fair enough.
do a total of uh
6
13
plus
damage.
7.
13 damage. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
push
already,
down.
yeah, it was already dazed before this, right? A
Yes.
little. Yeah.
It would have been dazed because of the fall and all that. Plus, you did damage with your axe hit. Um, you push it further in, and there's this like poof as this just sort of shockwave of energy pushes out from where it's kind of been pushed further into the ground. It goes a good half a meter into the soil, and you hear these like a series of crunches as parts of the creature have easily broken. You land on top of it, on top of that, doing an additional point of damage with just your general bulk. Uh, it's not dead, but damn, does it look really beat up. The other Rakshas is looking back at all of this now, and we will get to what that entails.
As
Yeah.
it's looking at us, I'll just point my axe towards it and look menacingly.
Okay. Okay.
How is this helping you get a pet at all?
I don't know.
Ajay
See-
belongs to a different school of pet management.
Pet is the best pet.
Right. Mugu and Madam Muggermuch, you can now see into this small opening. It looking in now, it looks like a hasty excavation, and inside, it's not even like a full doorway. It's literally just a hole that someone has discovered. You see enough evidence to show that some people have tried to squeeze through and gone in. Inside, from just looking out, you see almost like it's the inside of a temple. There's stone on the sides that have, or at least at one point in time, would have been nicely smoothed out. Now it's crumbling. There's some soil falling through. You see some smaller roots kind of having poked through parts of it as well. Um, the ground, while mostly covered with dirt, you've seen parts of it having been brushed away and has this sort of nice, those the sort of mosaic tiling that you see in certain old forts and all. You see that in a pattern that you can't quite tell, but what you can see very clearly is right on the opposite side, barely 2 meters away, um, is this small statue of this Vanir female, bent over, hunched, uh, holding a staff, uh, and sitting on what looks to be some kind of throne.
Oh, Mugu, does this look familiar to you? Do you know anything about who this might be?
Yeah, go on.
Actually, yeah,
Uh,
me too as well. Could I use Great Recall to see whether I've
yeah,
read about her anywhere?
okay. I'll allow great recall. And Muku, you make a strain memory. Manamugarmachi, you have to use memory as well.
Got it.
19.
Nice.
Oh, that's a nat 20. Okay, so that's a 28 total.
Nice. Okay. So, Mugu, you guys have been in Vanderprastha for a while, and one of the features of Anaprastha is that there are these statues almost dotted around the city in reverence to one of the city's oldest heroes. This was an old monarch named Raya who had, at a point where the city had been overthrown, back in the age of chaos, there was the city had been razed and overthrown, and she had led the remainder of the Vanir people into this forest and kind of kept them safe, and had changed their tactics from this very we fight in open ground with honor and all that to these guerrilla tactics that allowed them to slowly weaken uh, the invading force. And over time, she just outsmarted them and helped the Vanna retake the city. That's what
Oh,
she's known for. Uh, you see these statues all through Vanaprastha. It is the statue of this very confident-looking, straight-backed woman with a staff and a book in her hand to indicate that she is someone who's smart. She's skinny. She's not a warrior easily, and this is how she's portrayed everywhere.
and
This statue, however, does not show her like that. This statue shows her as someone who is bent over. Her physique looks civ- very uh, lacking in that regard. She's got this stack of books next to her. I mean, carved with the same stone, and she's holding this staff. But the staff is not as like this beacon or like this royal thing. It's more to help her stand and move around. it is a very different depiction of Raya, and the stonework makes it look very old.
Oh, very interesting. And does it feel more like a sort of accurate depiction or something that's like a mockery of what she could be?
It is a very different depiction from everything you've seen till
Do we
date.
remember her name?
Raya.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Raya. Yeah.
But I will say this, it doesn't look like a mockery because it is situated within a sort of temple-like dome, or the
Okay.
structure that's around it gives it this sort of um, prestige, or like a place of benediction, right? It is, yeah, you see these old rusted diyas that are dotted around the place. Obviously, with age and time, they cannot they look bad, but there had been diyas all around here at one point.
Can I tell
So
like
exciting.
who worked in the mine? Like we know that Warner and other species as well worked in the mine, right?
Mhm.
So and this particular god is revered by Warner.
It's not really a god. And yes, it is predominantly the Vanir who look up to this. It is a historical figure that has become deified just
As
because of the legends that surround her and the things she did during that time.
And one more question, BM. What would do we know that prayer has like a sort of effect? Like if we were to pray to an idol, things do happen. Like
Mhm.
how often are things that we would consider miracles in our world more of like a thing that you can do if you give an offering?
So the the nature of belief in Anantalok is that collective belief has led to the creation of the gods. It's that belief is what gives them power, right?
Hmm.
Which is why the general domains that gods hold over are not of actual physical things, but of concepts, right? The concept of cultivation, the concept of contamination. Um, that is what the gods do, and because of that belief, they have power, they have physical form, and they do interact with their disciples, and they do grant them a part of that power and the ability to change and affect things, which is what Mugu channels when she prays to Basandi. Um, of course, in much like we would remember from our old tales, the gods demand a certain amount of action be taken. It's not just, oh, you've prayed to me. They require action, that you do the things that they believe in, so that you prove that you're worthy of their power. So, you Daksh to dete, but you have to prove that you are worthy of it.
Perfect. Yes. Okay, so
Can
Madam
I
Magarmach hasn't prayed in ages, but she looks over to Mugu and she's like, this, this idol is very different, no, from the things that we've seen around and the stuff that even Ajay has spoken about, Raya, like whenever we've come across the statue. Do you think I feel a little guilty, but I have to be a little honest, especially in this place. I really haven't prayed a lot in a long time, and honestly, I haven't really given respect when needed. Do you think, Mugu, that maybe even if even if Raya doesn't speak back to us, maybe in this little earthy shrine, we can maybe just kind of leave a little bit of gratitude before we go back outside.
yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, someone was protecting
While
this.
you're having this conversation, you do feel this light tremor kind of move around you as something nearby has smashed into the ground.
Probably Raja. Um, do you
Ajay would have.
think yeah. Do you think we can leave something behind of ours to show our respect, but why would they change the depiction then hide the idol behind this trap?
I know it's very weird because like I mean I don't know, it's probably like some sort of marketing gimmick actually outside because like I don't know if like you see it, but like this this idol looks so old, no? Like it looks much older than anything else you see, and I know how like history kind of disguises things, especially in like school textbooks and all, but this kind of feels like maybe this is what Raya wanted. Maybe Ajay would know it better because he grew up in this culture, and maybe what they speak about Raya is kind of different. But I don't know. This feels safe, no? Like this little space over here, and I don't know whether we can really reach to her and tell her that we see you as you are, and we hope you can give us some help here. But what would you do here, Mugu, to kind of like cleanse the area?
Um, can I sort of make one of my prayers? And I know it's not like the way to do it, but basically, I want to
Alright.
do prayer to the harvest
Hmm.
and put like a stack on my. I think I can do one, right?
Yeah.
So I'll do that on the idol, sort of in a way to leave a mark behind and say that I like a sort of an offering.
Yes.
And
I
as a, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that as you do that, I'd like you to make a roll with persona.
Ooh, lovely. And Magamach has no idea of like worship apart from the worship that she's gotten from her fans. So she's going to take off a golden bangle
Hmm.
and keep it in front of the idol as an offering and see whether there's some way to just light the diyas around. To kind of just assist Mugu, not to like really take like the sort of forefront in this, but to just kind of help her as she gets into this focus of prayer and starts building on her magic.
Alrighty. Uh, cool. First,
I got a nat 20 and a 1 to persona, so that's 21. I don't know
nice.
how many times I've seen this, but I can't show it, but like it's such a pretty logo that I'm happy to see it twice today.
Yay!
This is one of Sheva's dice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that logo. It's like an owl sort of thing, right?
Yes. No. It's a like a it's like a sword with
Oh,
on
that
either
one. Okay.
sides.
The new ones.
Shout out to Kush for who made this logo. Thank you, Kush.
Um.
You're
Anyways,
welcome.
so you
Oh,
I'm waiting for that to like become
God.
a thing.
Shots fired. Oof, oof.
You Mugu begin to pray to this and uh, to the statue, and you inscribe a little bit of a rune and onto the ground underneath you, and you feel, despite being so far underground, just some of the energy from Basundi just kind of move through the roots that are poking through the temple, through the soil itself, into you and into this rune that you've cast, and it glows just briefly, and it's something that only you see. And then you look up and you see this little uh, stem grow out from behind the statue up onto where its head would be, and from where the ear is, bloom into this tiny little flower.
So
I've
sweet.
never grown a flower that fast before. But I kind of, Magu sort of feels very happy. She feels like after just being poked by spikes, she feels
Mm.
sort of like she's doing something right. And she turns and shows it to Madam Maganmachis.
Oh,
Yeah, Madam Mugamach, you leave your bangle at the base of the stone thing, and um, while there's no physical effect, you just feel, for the briefest of moments, fulfilled. Like that sort of burning obsession that you have with catching all your pupils, all of that, that's gone. and you just have a moment of respite before, of course, everything rushes back. And not just rushes back, but for all four of you, you hear this shrill whistle echoing through the caverns. And all these Rakshasas that up till now that you guys had been engaged with, their heads immediately snap to where that whistle has come from. And well, not the one that you guys that you're currently on, Kaka, but the other one rushes away and straight back out the way it had come into. Something seems to be calling the Rakshas to it.
Could it be? Could I? I mean, I probably won't be able to stop it. Also, I just wanna just highlight the stark contrast between the two groups.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I felt so emotional with that scene. I look at the idol and I don't say thank you. I just say we see you, and just kind of like kind of put a hand on Mugu in this sort of encouraging way, like thank you for getting us here, with this sort of feeling as well. And then I go like, do you think we should go and check on those two? No, I don't know what they're
Yeah.
up to.
Probably blew some stuff up by now. I guess we can go there. And like I reluctantly like stand up and start heading towards that direction.
I mean, I probably won't be able to stop this one, would I? By
You
tripping
can
it.
try. Like,
Yeah.
what would you like to do to it?
I mean, I want to see if I can stop it. If not, I'm gonna jump on it.
Okay.
It can lead me where it goes.
I don't think you'll be able to stop it because it's too large for you to hold down.
Yeah,
You can definitely jump on
trip it. I got. Yeah,
Oh, trip it.
yeah. If I
Uh,
trip it, will it just stop or will it just keep skittering out?
I mean, at the moment, it seems like whatever this whistle is has totally taken its attention from eating ore, from whatever else, and it is now rushing towards it. And
Yeah,
even the one that Kaka is on is now struggling to get up.
Yeah, I'll look at Kaka and say, okay, you take care of that one. I'm gonna see what's calling these, and I'm gonna hook my axe on its back and just
Okay.
hang on for dear life.
I'd like you to make another attack roll.
Attack
Yeah,
is
can I sense the source of the whistle where I am?
Actually, Mugu and Kaka and even Madame Magamachi, the three of you would be able to tell that this whistle is magical in origin. It is something that has been enhanced, and it's not like a normal whistle. It's something that has been amplified so that it travels all over this network of caverns.
okay. So all
What was
three
that roll?
visits. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's D20 plus PSM.
Yes.
That 20.
Fantastic. So this creature,
23.
23. You had noticed that the more ore it ate, the shinier its coat became, and also the stronger its coat became. If you remember the last one you were fighting, when you first latched onto it, its coat was spiky. It was hardened, and only when it started taking more damage did that loosen up. So when you jump onto this, you feel the same thing. Like its coat is very it's got almost this sort of silken edge to it where it's like almost hard to hold on to. It's sharp as well, these individual hairs. So you do take 1 point of damage as you hold on to it, and like the hair kind of just kind of spikes into you a little bit, but just barely. You manage to hold on, and if you're just holding on to the back of it, like your legs flailing and occasionally kicking off the ground just to keep you supported up, but you're mostly on it. Taka, you look back, you see Ajay having jumped onto this and just jetting off back down the way you came.
I did yell at him, keep that one.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And
so that's ours.
Mugu and Madam.
See what is going on. That's what I yelled. So.
Okay. Mugu and Madam, you are stepping right back out of the little hole into the temple. And as you're stepping out, this Rakshas rushes past, and you're pretty sure you see Ajay attached to it.
Either that or there was like a dagger-shaped blue ribbon on its tail.
I imagine like, this moment where Muku and like Madam Magamach, after having this really heartfelt, soulful moment, they just come out and see this and look at each other and go, Ajay.
And as she's been doing throughout the campaign, she's just gonna run behind Ajay at her speed. I know I can't catch up, but like, yeah.
Oh, baby! Our own little Rakshas has come to be a pet.
Yes, he has.
I mean, I don't know. Like, does the creature, the Rakshas under me, seem like it's going to be moving from after
Oh,
this?
it's struggling to get up right now.
I just again I do you know what, like, yeah, I fucking hell.
You only have so many
Do
pages.
it! Do it!
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of going to take a basic, like, can I try and like, as it is kind of struggling, like, can I try and identify a potential weakness on the body,
Very
like, you
interesting.
know?
I mean,
You can try.
if
Yeah.
Ajay was there, he would have suggested his junk, but
Oh my.
No,
Oh,
I mean something a
Ajay.
little more
Again,
life
I just
proof.
want to say these dogs have done nothing. They've just eaten gold, and like that's it.
Yes.
But they're
Honestly,
not
really
dogs. They're
sweet
also
dog.
Rakshas. They're also Rakshas. Just saying. They're also Rakshas. Yeah,
I'd like you
I'm
to
going
make
to
me
try and
roll it.
use my wit. I'm going to try and use my wit to, like, you know, ascertain like the best weak point for this creature.
Sure.
They're all good dogs, Kaka.
I mean, maybe.
That is the fuck at 11.
11.
Yeah.
With 11, at least from your vantage point on its back, you're just about sitting up and like frantically looking around as it's starting to shake and try and move. You don't see anything on its back or the back of its head that seems to indicate that a part of it is weak. In fact, much like the other one, its actual fur is become sharper, become kind of dense, becoming almost like this plated armor on its back. What is your reflex? Because this thing is now going to try and push you off of it.
Reflex.
8.
Okay. It most definitely pushes you off of it because I rolled a 19.
Wow.
It just as if the whistle has given it a burst of energy. It just pushes you off. You kind of drag along the back of it, like tumbling over. You take 2 points of damage as you fall backwards off of it, and it turns around and then rushes after the other Rakshas as well.
Can I also try and just, like,
I love
grab
this.
onto it, like, you know, following my.
This is gonna be harder because you've just fallen down. So I'll
Okay.
say you you could, if you beat a DC of 17, I'd like you to roll finesse because you're trying to grab it quickly. No other additions.
Please, please, please catch
That's
on.
a 10.
Okay. You try and grab it, but it just it's too far gone. At this point, do you guys want to chase after them or do something else?
So I do love this Jumanji moment of like the Rakshasa and Ajay just running past us, and then this one Rakshasa slowly catching up, while Kaka is just like, wait, chasing after.
I've gone behind Ajay.
Yeah,
This one is probably like drooling.
we're
So I'll
definitely
just
all
run behind.
running behind
Yeah.
all the Rakshasas to see where they
Yeah.
lead us.
Or
All right.
where Ajay takes us.
Ajay is our compass.
You know, I got a nat 20. With a nat 20, could I have like I started at the back? Could I have like worked my way up to its forefront?
No. The nat 20 is what allowed you to hang on to it in the first place. I want everybody to make a strength roll as you begin to run after it, except you, Ajay. You're okay. You're still on it.
Strength. Okay. Oh wait. Okay, I was 0 and strength.
Strength is mine.
Mm.
Yes, I would have been
3.
10.
10, 14. Okay. 3, 10, and 14. You guys start rushing after this. 14 was with Kaka, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Kaka, you quickly overtake both Mugu and Madame Magamach, who are still slowly overcoming their kind of sense of surprise as the second Rakshas runs past them. They're kind of falling behind you. The two Rakshas, or the Rakshas in front that you're attached to, Ajay, you hear the water from further ahead where you're like, oh, we're getting closer to the bridge. But before even hitting the bridge, it suddenly skids to a halt. I'd like you to make a strength roll to just hold on to it because it's gonna like the sudden jerking motion.
Okay, just straight strength. No
Yeah,
athletics,
straight.
nothing.
No.
Okay.
Do it, Ajay. Come on.
15 plus 3. So
Okay. You managed to just barely hold on. This and you can tell that the creature just starts biting massive chunks out of the dirt and just heading in some random direction, creating a tunnel of some sorts. And it's doing so rapidly. This is not like when it was eating the ore earlier, where you were watching it. This is almost frantic. Like it needs to be somewhere. And you're holding on. You're being slammed against the side of the wall, the soil as it's kind of creating this thing and moving further in. But you're holding on right now.
I'm
The
having a
rest of
great
you,
time.
oh yeah, it's fantastic. Uh, the rest of you, I'd like you to roll stamina to continue running after these creatures.
Madam Magarmach is just losing it, okay? Like losing motivation the more she runs. She's like, I've never had to do this in PT class also. She gets like a 12 minus 1, 11.
I would imagine Mugu is like running and running and running, and like like the dog, the weak dog passes her, and then the
Kaka
like Kaka passes her, and then Madam Magarmach passes her, and she's like, okay, I'm going to continue, but she's just walking like a snail because I
This
got a
is
6.
too much, Mugu. This sari and all, no, it's too much for running.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know why I'm following Ajay. This
I'm
is my
wearing
entire life.
cotton, but it's so hot. Why?
I wasn't meant to do any of this.
Finally, Kaka, what did you roll?
For the strength,
Stamina.
Stamina.
for this stamina. Oh shit! Sorry. 14.
14 again. Consistent.
Yeah.
You start running behind this, and you see the second Rakshas up ahead. Again, take this sudden 90-degree turn and just rush into what, from your vantage point, looks like just the wall. As you get closer, you skid to a halt. You're like, oh, there's actually a tunnel. And it seems to be going, like in this sort of upwards direction. You start running behind it, and before you head into this 9-degree tunnel, you look back and you see in the distance Madame Magamach kind of just struggling to keep up, and Mugu's behind her as well. Ajay, you had a question?
Mine was going downwards, right?
Oh, sorry. That's on me. They're both going upwards.
Both going upwards. Okay.
Have we noticed anything? Like, have you noticed anyone else while we're running, while we're going anywhere?
No, it's just these Rakshasas. I'll say that is anybody proficient in eavesdrop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because you're at a bit of a distance and you're not running as fast, you are pretty sure, just ambiently, you hear lots of other footsteps from nearby caves.
Oh.
Like heavy footfalls, as in other Rakshasas running.
Okay.
I'll just shout. They're heading up ahead, and I just like jump and keep following. Like,
Now you have to go up also. I mean, how can I? How can I? I mean, how can I? That's just like
Yeah, this
start
is
walking. I give
too
up and
much.
I just walk.
Yeah, this is too much effort, Kaka. Like, I was just looking for like those students, and now we're running after
Oh,
like
Kaka's not even
Rakshasas.
near you. He's like
I
taking off.
you
He's
you
catching
you
up to
hear
Mugu, I'm just like imagining Kaka in front of us. Like, this is too much
I
for
guess
me.
like our sight is also like we're seeing doubles and everything.
Yeah,
We're like
what?
sweating profusely.
this is
Ajay.
you hear like you just hear this is why calisthenics is important.
I don't know what Kaka is also saying, but he's found the movement because I can't move anymore.
Like Benny Hill music plays behind us.
I mean, these guys are
All
going
right.
to eavesdrop.
Ajay.
I mean, they would probably hear Ajay just shouting woo hoo and like the
Yeah,
most
I'm
excited
sure.
one.
I'm sure. Ajay, the Rakshas you're on is beginning. It sounds like it's beginning to break through something. And just as you're like, like I can't take any more of this battering against the soil, you're out into an open area, and it's not as claustrophobic. You breathe, and you're like, oh, I'm not breathing in sand, and there's light, and your eyes like adjust to this sudden change. You fall off of the Rakshas. You have throughout all of this taken 2 points of damage, just being battered
Half
along
dead.
the way.
Half dead.
Half dead, fading. Okay. Uh, cool.
Amazing.
You've taken 1 point of damage with the half. You've are now in a large cavern, and we'll describe this cavern next time that we play.
Ooh.
Nice.
And we'll save
Nice.
that for our finale.
Awesome. And I just have to say thank you all for like investing so much in your role play, because I know we've been hard on our Bludgeon Master with so much role play and not real investigating. But oh my god, this has been a blast. Thank you so much everyone for investing so much in your character. And I'm cool with doing more episodes if everyone's cool with
Oh
it.
hell,
Yeah.
we do a follow up
I mean-
once this adventure ends.
Yes, season
Yeah.
2.
This is a full chaos. I mean, like, well, chaos group.
This
We-
is like Ajay's day out and his
Sorry,
babysitters.
sorry. No. Sorry, I'm going.
He's down.
This guy. This guy.
He's down. He's down.
This guy. Yeah. No, I'm like in the stream. He's here. So like.
Point in all directions just to be safe.
Yeah, we spent the last 2 hours traveling a total of maybe 500 meters.
Just because we're following Ajay.
It's just been awesome, like with the whole thing. And it is fun to be in a chaotic party where like there's only one person who's truly chaotic.
It's fun because like I also have to stay on my toes.
Yeah,
And really adjust to what's happening, which is fun for me.
yeah, this is
I
kind
just
of
want to say
like
it's
the
still an option. Like just tying him up is still an option.
I think that's what happens in season 2, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
this,
that's how we begin. With just Ajay, like, tied kind of Mad Max style.
this is like that one teenager forced to go with a group of adults on a trip and is just like, I want to do this. No, beta, sit here and enjoy a talk and coffee instead.
Drink some tea. It's so good for the soul.
No need to make bombs from weird chemicals you found on the ground.
But yes, before we end session 3 of Bludgeon, let's go around and just give an introduction. I'd like to start with our Bludgeon Master himself. Just tell us a little bit about you, tell us about Bludgeon, and it's been 2 weeks, so tell us everything.
Hello, my name's Tejas. I am a game designer by profession and a TTRPG designer by hobby. I've been building the system called the Bludgeon system with a few friends of mine. We are mostly active on Twitter at the handle TacticsNChai, with N being just the N. We are hoping to launch Bludgeon soon-ish, as we kind of just get around to prepping for a beta launch, more or less. And yeah, stay tuned for more updates as we get closer to that launch.
Yes, and do check out Tactics and Chai because there's an insane amount of lore and an insane amount of amazing artwork, like really, really fantastic artwork. The stuff that you see on our stream right now, like I changed it so you can see it now, but all this fantastic artwork and more is on the Twitter page. So go check it out. Next, we are going to Mugu. Shweta, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. Okay, so today I do have something to promote. Like, I'm Shweta, and usually I just say, go follow my friend Translucent Tiefling because she's a great artist. But today on TPK, if you join the server or you're a part of the server, you're welcome to view the all-night heist games that I'll be running today. So yeah, if you're free and you're an insomniac, just join us for that.
Yeah, but definitely, honestly, you do need to join the server just because, like, Shweta runs a ridiculous amount of games. Like, I have no idea where she gets the energy and the time to do this. And she knows an insane amount of D&D lore. I think, like, most of the D&D lore I've, like, learned is just by playing in games with her and being like, oh shit, is that how it actually is? So, like, my life has been a homebrew, guys. What can I say? Like, but yeah, so come on to our server, play in a couple of campaigns and games with Shweta because it's fantastic. Next,
Thank you.
we have our slightly chaotic personality, Ajay. Abhishek, what would you like to say about yourself?
And
Explain yourself, young man.
Exactly what I wanted to say also.
Explain myself. I mean, I still don't know that mystery myself, but I will say join the TPK servers because we're already over 420 members, so
Yes!
I won't spoil anything. I would have said if it was just 420, I would have stopped you from joining.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little
Yeah,
sad I didn't see the 420 member else myself.
I saw that.
All
but,
praise the 420.
Yeah.
because I don't have a life. Yeah. I don't know. I just hate my job. That's about me. Also,
Feels.
also I'm Kush. I have a side business being Kush. So anytime you guys see a nice coffee, just throw it out and drink a black one because that's what real Kush stands to.
Ouch! Ouch! Oh god, that's fantastic. I love it. I love it. And last but not least, we have Adi. Tell us about your story.
Why, thank you kindly. Noonlight Creations is my custom creation store that I am setting up. I mostly work on jewelry and accessories, and I also have a few 3D printed offerings, much like Exhibit A, and a few other lines. I am working the first line of jewelry that I'm going to actually and resin Chinese horoscope series, where I have very ink drawings with the animals associated, and on the other one, it's going to be like a Chinese kanji of like the animal and the element that is associated with the thing. So I'm going to, because as much as I want like fully customizable and like original content, I know that like some things sometimes it's good to go in directions where people want. And I did do a poll sometime back, my first customer or rather Instagram poll, which led to Chinese calligraphy, Chinese zodiac being a very popular design theme. So that is going to be coming up soon. Follow me on Noonlight Creations on Instagram. For now, there are other things that are developing. I'm going to be, taking inspiration and hopefully some custom, like clearing questions with creators like Shema, my senpai, in this matter, and so senpai, please. help me. So we shall have those conversations. But join TPK. It's a crazy bunch of people. I also am slowly becoming potentially to the point where I can say I am a TPK DM. Like, I don't know. I think it's getting in that direction. Because I have done a few epic games, and I do run my own mini campaign, the Atlantis campaign on TPK. So we're cool people.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
despite
Yeah.
what you see, we are actually cool.
Yeah, we are kind of like as much as we can be, but like yeah, like TPK the
Mostly
server
it's OG.
is
Really
like
honest. Come on.
yeah.
OG is not cool.
Hats off to like Kush and Jeevan for really handling this server because it's their little baby, and it's been amazing seeing all the stuff that's going on it. And Adi, I'm so excited for the Chinese Zodiac series because I'm born in the year of the boar, and I find it a kind of a
Yeah.
bore. So like I'm excited to
Oh.
see what I can get as merch out of it.
Let us unburden you.
Yeah.
Let us unburden you.
But
Yes, bro.
But
That
yes,
was a pun.
I fucking love accessories, so I'm gonna definitely get like a necklace or two. And from my side, hello, I am Kumi's Curiosities is my like little store. We sell a lot of D&D merch, mostly dice, and shout out to everybody who's bought like a lot of dice, especially Shweta, who's just been like amazing in supporting my stuff. Thank you so much. We're also on Swiggy Minis now, so it's more like anything. It's just funny and amazing for me to see my store on a food delivery app. So if you want dice, you can now order D&D shit on Swiggy. So that's kind of cool from my end. Apart from that, we have like some amazing stuff happening on our server. I'm not very active on our server, but that's what makes me feel like, oh, there's so much happening on the server. Okay, like it's awesome to see this community. We are like just kind of like really open, and I kind of like that. I like how everybody can just talk bullshit and be like, hey, I get you, dude. So that's awesome as well. And I'm so excited today to be playing Bludgeon again after weeks of D&D. It's been so much fun to just to break free and play this new system, and I am totally looking forward to a season 2 as well because man, it's been amazing playing as a local. Really, without the fancy European accents and all that bullshit, just to be like, this is how the people around me sound. This is how I feel like comfortable with. Exactly, yeah. Like the saying, Namma Macha, okay, these are all my people. It feels like, I mean, everybody on the stream has felt like family to me just from how awesome the interactions has been. I feel a little sorry for Tejas because he's put up with like so much role play and none of us really knows.
I'm absolutely enjoying it. I'm here for it.
And like,
contractually, he can't say that.
But huge fucking shout out to like the Bludgeon system because like it fixes a lot of problems that D&D has and is just like makes me feel awesome with everything I roll. Like I don't think I've been in a game where everybody has honestly been like, I've gotten under a 10. Okay. Like, mostly just like, yeah, I got an unnatural 20. Like, did you really? Did you roll that really? But here is just like everybody's very confidently like, I got a 3. Okay. And it's been awesome to see. Thank you so much for being okay with failing in this role play because it's made for great storytelling. And we will see you next week for the finale of Bludgeon Unsound Underground. And I'm excited for season 2 already. So thank you everyone for watching.
Season 2 will have OG, by the way, guys. So,
No, then I'm out.
We'll see about him because we don't want meta gamers here. I'm sorry, Jeevan. Some of us love
Okay.
you.
I'm just
These are
gonna say the
I
Reddit
think
community is gonna
forget
have a
shots. Now these are
fucking day.
cannonballs. Forget shots. These are cannonballs.
But thank you everyone for watching. Good night and have a great weekend. Bye
Go look
bye.
up
Bye.
bludgeon.
Bye.
Go look up bludgeon. Go look up bludgeon.